Okay, I was joking to myself when I said this. Hello everyone and welcome to Bleach Manga Chapter 646. Live reaction and review, The Second Eye. And we are met with Shinji. This is strange. Why are we away from thy battle? Unless we're going... Oh god, it's not another setup, is it? Is Shinji and folks gonna run into bloody... Gerard? Alright. Let's just leave him and move on. He's right. We need to stay back. Captain Kira. Poor Momo. Is it really a good idea to go to him? Please wait, Captain. Are you sure we should go help Captain Kiriko? Why should we? We're running short on time here. Yeah, but... See... What do you think, Nanao-chan? I will go back. Please go without me. Alright. Right. One more thing. What do you think Ukitake would say if he were here? If Kiriko says he's fine and he'll... Yep. So let's leave it to him and go. That's it. Momo. Oh, bless her soul. If you get it, then let's go. And another thing to add to that answer just now. I'm sure even old man Genryusa would say the same, that we should move ahead. Yeah, Moto. Because it's the role of the Captain Commander, motherfucker. Oh, we're back to the fight. To shoulder the lives of his men, the second eye. Come on! First fight is the Captain Commander. How careless. Did you really think you'd land a scratch on me just because it's close range? Why is it released today? That's what I'm wondering about. Of course. I already did, didn't I? Did you? Oh shit, he broke his gun! Again! He's going to need to release his Vollständig. I wanted to take that whole arm away from you, but I guess I've been too soft. Oh, it extended. Diagram. This gun is my bow, made entirely out of my reishi. I see, so that's why you can still fight even if it's broken. You just make a new one. But... it looks like you've forgotten the rules to the game. Oh shit, Lily! If you lose sight of me for even a second, the image you see after could be me, or maybe not. Remember now? Back when we were all children, and how we were so afraid. Holy mother of balls of the shadows. Even Lily! Ah, damn it. He opened his eye! This is the third time. Third time? Okay, let's say the second was when they fought Squad Zero. You know, when Kubo ended the rock, paper, scissors thing. When I have my eyes open, it's impossible for me to use the X-axis power. Never mind. This meaning my gun would be able to pierce through you and my Oh shit! And my body will go through your sword. Oh, so if your eyes open, then my game rules won't apply, huh? That's right. Here in this moment, there won't be anything in this world that could kill me. Oh. This only works for a short period of time. When my life is in danger during battle, only because it'll be unfair to the rest of you if my eyes were open the entire time. Ah, really? Well then, would you mind closing them both for good then? But if there ever were a time where I opened my eye for 3 times in a row during battle, then I am permitted to keep them open for the entire battle then. I am the last Quincy to have my powers given to... Oh! His Highness best creation, the man closest to God. And I think that someone like me would have to open my eyes 3 times is unheard of. Oh, Jesus. Whoa! His Vollständig! Oh, my Jesus! Jaleel. Oh my god. Oh! Oh my lord! Oh! Be right back. Okay then. This chapter wasn't really battle heavy, but it was exposition heavy. Lille has gotten a little bit more interesting. And that's mainly because he was the last Quincy to have been given powers by His Majesty, meaning that he's a part of the young generation, i.e. Lille, Toto, Giselle, and so on. Which is, you know, very strange, because you would think that, okay, let's just use, I suppose we could. Well, Basby would be the best example, but, you know, because of his character. Okay, let's just use Basby as an example, but leave, obviously, you know, his motivation aside, since he was the oldest Quincy to be with, well, he is the oldest Quincy. How should I word that? He was a part of the older generation, so, Hubert, Arglo, Xaydam, Robert, and possibly Kliege. But yeah, it would, for Lille to be a part of the Schutzstaffel, whilst being the younger generation, is a little bit of a questionable action, I suppose, when it comes down to Juha, because it would make sense to have someone that was closest to him all the way through, that's been through hell and back with him. He is a bastard of a leader, don't get me wrong, but it makes you wonder if Gerard and Askin are part of the young generation as well, because how should I word this? Asking Lille, Gerard, and Perndina. Well, I'm not going to really count Perndina. Lille, Gerard, and Askin were dead. Were killed off by Squad Zero, as we've seen. And Juha took the powers of the Quincy's away with the harsh wall, and minus obviously Udiu. Harshwald and, you know, the deceased elite guard. I said elite guard! Schutzstaffel. And he used, obviously, the Harshwallen to resurrect them. Now, which begs the question. If it was Askin, he wouldn't do anything, you know, and I wouldn't really fault him for that. If it came down to Gerard, Lille, and possibly Perndina, would they have done something to Juha? Because that's just the thing. We don't know the goal. The goal that, well, like, the full-on goal when it comes down to the Quincy. Yes, it was the destruction of the Soul King and the Shinigami, but was that it? I mean, minus Basby, and even Roy Lloyd, even after seeing, you know, a small part of their exposition, are they following Juha because he was God? Like, he came to them. Like, the best example I can give isn't really an example since it doesn't really count, but it well, it counts to me personally, but it doesn't. But it moves what I'm saying forward. There was a fan fiction manga that I read by. Actually, let me double check because I know he has a YouTube channel. Let me pause. There was a fan fiction manga done by Mr. Tomo 2304, and it was on Chengdu. Now, everything that happened aside, actually, you could, well, you can't really include Asnot. I could, but yeah, obviously, Asnot's exposition has been added, which is dreadful to say the least. Anyway, Chang was in despair, in a cavern of sorts, like with only a candlelight for light, which wasn't really that much, and you know, I wouldn't say he was on the verge of killing himself, since you know that would be you know, against his will, but no, against his beliefs, but I suppose his beliefs were wavering. At least that's the impression I got. Anyway, in his despair, Juha came, and you know, Chang said, "Are you a god?" And Juha said, "I can be your god," or something along those lines. Now, if we're using that to... Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I could have done Asnot as well, but... Asnot's was just so short, I had to use Chang's. Even though it isn't technically canon, but still, it's canon to me. Anyway. What if most of them followed him blindly, i.e. na. Most of them follow him unquestionably prior to the obviously Hoshwallen incident because of his salvation that he brought. And once again, Juha has brought salvation to Lille. He brought salvation to Asnot, obviously, you know, like saving him from pain, becoming the god that he needed. Essentially, someone that was like, no, you don't deserve to go to hell, etc., etc. I will give you life, which he kind of did. I will give you power to fight with that life, to keep it safe. And, yeah. They just follow him because he's a hero. Right then. Lille's power is a little bit interesting. Now, I'm going to read it again. When I have both my eyes open, it's impossible for me to use the X-axis powers. This means my gun would be able to pierce through you, and my body will go through your sword. Oh yeah, there's a pause. Oh, so that's right. Here in this moment, there won't be anything in this world that could kill me. This only works for a short period of time when my life is in danger, only because it'll be unfit to trust you. Okay then. Right, so essentially what I'm reading here is that Lille has essentially become immortal. Because, you know, like, it's probably the translation, obviously. I will read it over again to get a better gist of it. But, yeah, from what he's saying, Lille is basically immortal, but I highly doubt he's immortal. Obviously, you know, like, Shunsui could find a way to break through that immortality, because, you know, it's a lie. Because when I'll freely admit, when watching this series, I thought it was impossible for the Shinigami to die. Until, you know, like Rugia said, I was like, oh, fuck, so where the fuck did the Shinigami go? Let's not delve into that. So, yeah. When he has his bat eyes opened at any point during battle, 3 times, so I thought it would be like 3 times during the same battle, but it's 3 times over the course of, let's just say, this war. So I don't know when the first one was, but I think the second one was... yeah, during his battle with Squad Zero. And the third one, obviously, is now. Which means... Lille has essentially been given permission to go all out. That's the gist of what I'm getting here. his the tattoo upon his eye, you know, like fades away, becomes the Quincy crest, and then oh my god, oh no, right, never mind. I thought that was something else then, but and he's able to release his Quincy Vollständig. Now the Vollständig looks pretty damn interesting. I mean, for all intents and purposes, Lille hasn't really lost his charm, so to speak, when it comes down to the X-axis or sharpshooter and so on and so forth. Now, I'm a little bit concerned with what Shunsui's going to do. Because, like, you know, obviously he's an elite guard. Lille is basically, I suppose, close to being Juha level. I mean, it's the same thing with Shunsui. I mean, his last major battle was obviously with I suppose you could count Robert, but in this case, let's just not. His last major battle was basically with Stark, i.e. the top dog, not counting Yami, don't care what anyone says, the top dog of everyone, and he was almost as powerful as, well, not really almost, but, you know, he was, like, close to Aizen when it came to, like, the power level, and again with Lille. Now, obviously, the difference now is like, yes, he's the captain and commander, but that's just a title. Yes, he's probably done some training, ain't gonna lie, but Shunsui has got a long way to go before he becomes Yamamoto captain commander level. That's the thing. I mean, sure, yes, he has the title, but to me, I still see the same Shunsui that was the leader of squad, that was the captain of Squad 8. I'm not saying he has to prove himself or anything, because he's already proven himself, ample opportunities, by fighting, again, the top dogs. And he's fighting the top dog now. But, yeah, again, I'm just worried that people are going to be thinking, because he's the captain commander, Lille is essentially going to be cannon fodder, but that isn't the case, because, again, there hasn't really been that much of a time skip between him becoming the captain commander and him, you know, being the leader of Squad 8. So, the beginning itself was, at first I thought it was pointless filler, because I wasn't really expecting to go back, but I suppose it would make sense, you know, since well, not really everyone, it was just really Momo, like saying, like, you know, oh, we need to go back and help, but you know, Shinji's just going all boss, explaining something that isn't life-threatening or would affect this battle. He just explains, like, you know, like, what would Katake say, and if Genryu and if Yamamoto was here, or he would say for us to move ahead. Because it's the role of the captain commander. I think they now said that, but I'm not sure. Either way, that was a nice touch, really. Well, at least they've remembered Ukitake, which means he probably isn't dead. I love the way Kubo just drew Shinji and Momo. That was just good. I want more interactions from them. So, yeah. This battle has just gotten more interesting, as has Lille. But to be perfectly honest, if Kubo is mentioning this, we're either hopefully going to get a backstory of some form when it comes down to Lille during the end or during the course of the fight. It would make a lot more sense for there to be like 2 pages or whatever at the beginning of next week's chapter, then continue with the fight. But I highly doubt that since it's Kubo. So whenever he does it, I hope it explains. But at the same time, I'll be fearful when it comes down to that kind of explaining, because that's just like, you know, well, not really. That's not really fearful, because that would only be for the young generation. But then Kubo could really turn around. So, like, okay, right, this is what I'm worried about. Let's just say, you know, like, Kubo's using Lille for the main exposition of the Quincy's. Of the SternRitter, rather, order. I don't have a problem with that as long as it's the young, the second generation of Quincy's. But to be perfectly honest, we don't really know the second generation. We only know the first generation, i.e. being, you know, the first generation Basby, Hochwald, Robert, and I think that's fucking it. Yeah. Some people could argue that Bambietta, but I have a funny feeling that Hubert is her father. I just been having this funny feeling ever since I saw him, and I'm only mentioning it until now because of that worry. Who else could be in the second generation? I don't really know. Well, obviously not Royd or Lloyd. Obviously not Asnot. Oh yeah, Perndina maybe. That'd be interesting. What if, you know, like, when we get to see the war between, you know, the Quincy's not 800 years ago. No, he was 200 at the time, wasn't he? Well, a couple of years must have passed, and you know, Hochwald, and Basby world. Anyway, I'm just delving too deep into it. I just hope that, you know, like, Kubo doesn't botch it and say everyone besides, you know, IEDs, like, you know, like, there's a large quantity of SternRitters, and, he just says everyone here, no, that wouldn't make sense, that worry, because, you know, the war, I need to see that bloody war, so, yeah, I'm just like, you know, my worries are coming through, but, yeah, all in all, this was a pretty good chapter. Lille has become a little bit more interesting, especially with his powers. I want to learn more about him now. But then again, I wanted to learn more about Perndina, but we didn't get jack shit. But yeah, Quincy Vollständig, nice to see. For Kubo, well, actually, is Quincy Vollständig is a little bit, or was those just its wings? If that's the case, then yeah, because a lot of people are saying because they've seen the wings. Like, because, like, obviously Lille didn't look like that when he was resurrected. But let's just use Giselle as a case. Like, a lot of people saying, like, when they saw those bone wings, that was Giselle's Vollständig. I was like, pretty boring. And it was the same with Lil Toto because of her mouth wings. Now, what if that's just a small power-up? Like, you know, the wings are like the second stage, and then the Vollständig is the final stage. Oh, good gracious, imagine what Giselle would look like, because I've had that imagination in my mind. But I think she's dead. By the way, good chapter. Left a lot of interesting things. The Vollständig design is interesting. What was the last Vollständig we saw? Oh god, it was fucking Pepe. It was Pepe! This is way better! Yeah! Kubo is hyped and we've moved away from the crustiness. Okay, so I am going to give this chapter an 8 out of 10. I will see you next time. Good day.